No, I think there is. Well, I don't
That's
like
the
her
bias right
statements.
there, Max.
No, I don't like her statements, but it is a little bit because you don't like what she says and you more agree with what Pedro says, and I do agree more with Pedro says. I think there is a strong discriminatory and defamation. I do. I honestly do. But
Yeah,
Isaac,
what Pedro said wasn't anti-Semitic at all.
Well, arguably,
her interpretation.
He was going after Nazis, and she's comparing herself.
But he put
to
the "Make America
Jewish
Great
people-
Again" hat.
That
Jewish
was her
people during
opinion.
the Holocaust.
It was a dumb opinion. I
People
don't
have been
agree with
fired
it.
for less.
So, Brucefer, there's people who would say it's exactly the same thing. Like, the
Yeah.
opinions can differ on that. That's
Yeah,
the whole
even if we don't agree, what's important is
Right.
can they make a case to where the jurors would agree or the judge? That's what's important.
I think it's
Who's in the
ridiculous
stand
to
again.
compare the play. I think she was even saying that about wearing a mask. That
It was like being in a gas chamber.
Yeah, that is a ridiculous
That's
statement. It's a stupid statement, but it's her right to say that statement. And people might think that Pedro's statement is ridiculous. I don't want to defend Gina. I don't like her comments. I like her person.
Well, you don't have to defend her.
No, but I'm just saying
You're looking at this agnostic.
it's a stupid comment, but
we're not attacking her. We're attacking the document for people that are watching.
Yeah,
the claims in the document for me.
But let's get to Isaac. Thank you so much, Isaac, for supporting the channel and supporting us in this way. This really, really helps. You're a great supporter. We love you, Isaac. Isaac, the biggest movie fan, 1999. If you guys were in charge of Disney, would you allow an a-hole like Elon Musk to buy the company?
That will never happen.
I wouldn't, because he just said some not so nice things about Bob Iger for stop promoting ads on Twitter, and he works for G&G. Well, here's a few things.
He's run foot into the ground.
Here's a few things. If he has the money to buy it, and they're up for sale, he has every right to buy Disney. Anyone else does.
I'm sorry,
if
Max.
he has the opportunity to buy stocks or whatever way you can acquire Disney, a hostile takeover, he has every right to. So they can't. Anthony, it's whether you want it or not. If there's an opportunity for anyone that has the funds to buy Disney, he has the rights just like everyone else does.
You mean the guy that bought Twitter and that shit is worth nothing now?
You don't know you don't know everything. You don't know of all Elon's angles.
Okay, sure.
He might be.
What if we start a Kickstarter?
It worth nothing. Twitter worth nothing.
This is part of rebuilding Twitter right now to take up lawsuits for anyone that was wrongfully fired. This is part of the advertising for Twitter. This very case is part of rebuilding Twitter and being a haven for free speech.
And the only studio
now, at the same point, it's
courtroom.
It's fair. It's fair for a company to say, "I no longer feel comfortable putting my ads on there." So Elon could just suck it on that.
Yeah, sure. He's my dad. Sure, he's my dad. Sure, whatever.
He's just joking. He's just trying to trigger you, Anthony. Don't. Yeah. But it's completely fair for Disney to pull the ads. If you were a business owner, if Voltaire is a business owner, and he gets to say, "I don't feel comfortable with my ads being there," and he could whine all about it. Well, you do the voice for Elon Voltaire. So that's fine.
Wow! You pull your ads off my Twitter. Wow,
bro! All he did was complain that
thank you for that. So I completely agree with Iger to not have my ads on Twitter, and that's where they get a source of revenue. If they're going to allow some BS that you don't agree with, and that's where I always say, everyone thinks there's a better alternative than YouTube. They think Rumble is going to be the next thing. As soon as advertisers get there, it's going to be the same song and dance because you want companies to pay to say ads. And that's where all these anti-SJWs completely always bite the hand that feeds them. They're getting revenue from Disney all the time on their ads when they're complaining about Disney. It's so ridiculous. And it's always going to come down to this. Advertisers will be like, "You're constantly crapping out a product. Why are we going to pay ads before this, and they're always playing chicken with the next apocalypse.
And also,
by biting the hand that feeds it with advertising.
You also were complaining about every company pulling away. Like he was complaining about every company pulling away the ad stings.
What's your thoughts on this, Voltaire, from Isaac? If there's an opportunity for someone to take over Disney by buying it, he has every right like anyone else in the world.
He does, but Isaac's right. The board has.
Oh, the board could say no.
They have a way to, put a stop to it or something. But there are limits to that. Remember what Richard Gere from Pretty Woman's job was to hostile takeover different companies. So there are ways to do it. In fact, somebody else is trying to take over Disney right now also. So they can try to stop it, absolutely. But there's a limit to that.
I honestly wouldn't be opposed to Elon taking over Disney.
Okay, relax. Okay, buddy.
Stop.
All right.
I wouldn't.
Sure. Like he destroyed Twitter, buddy. Sure. Yeah, sure, buddy.
And Joe's got himself a popcorn, so he's enjoying this.
Like
I'm not opposed to that.
I will say this: the whole
of course he would.
discrimination against conservative argument can be easily undercut by showing how much they donate to Republicans every year, because they do.
Thank you, Sean, for bringing that up. Yes,
what does that have to do with the discrimination? Yeah,
isn't it discrimination before being a conservative? That's an argument.
Okay,
political, right? Am I correct?
But donating to a political party doesn't. I don't know.
It's a big factor.
Okay, so that was the first. Okay, then they get into more stuff Mark Hamill did. Walking back, liking a tweet from J.K. Rowling. You know what I mean? And they did nothing about it. Blah blah blah. So the first 49 of 59 pages is this background that they're presenting. Now we get into the meat, which is the causes of action. All right. So first claim for relief, wrongful discharge. And this is that labor code section I was telling you about. No employer shall make, adopt, or enforce any rule, regulation, or policy preventing or forbidding, blah, blah, blah. Basically, you can't fire somebody for their politics, right? No employer shall coerce or influence or attempt to coerce or influence his employees through, I'm surprised it says his, through or a California statute to use the term his is very unusual, by means of threat or discharge or loss of employment to adopt or follow or refrain from adopting or following any particular course or line of political action. So you see what what I hope to do here by going through this with everybody is you see where she's trying to prove this, right? You see what she's trying to prove.
Correct.
Yeah. And then they get into sort of summarizing, here's her posts, and they ultimately terminated her. Her stuff is just political feelings. She didn't attack anybody, blah, 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 and they cite some cases and all this sort of thing because there is case law backing her up, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Like, for example, and look, this is where these cases usually come. This case they cite here. Go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I just like the way I respect Gina's right to sue for this. I also the Scream actress. This could also help her if she decides to pursue it further as well.
I don't think she doesn't care whatsoever, bro. She'll be fine.
Why wouldn't she? This is a precedent for anyone in the industry.
She really, if you follow Melissa, because you don't, she's not.
What do you think, Voltaire, with that situation?
So